The text is not the point of the operation. It's a sculpture. And in order for people to be able to read it, you translate it into another language. It's very hard to lose something in translation when it's really just about the relationship of a human being to a stone, to a table, to a natural phenomenon. Nothing is lost. What it is it's different. But remember, each person's eyes are different when you look at a painting. You don't see the same colors, but you see the general idea. And I don't find any particular language complicated. Sometimes a culture is complicated. And my job as an artist, I don't like this term conceptual. There is no such thing. Everybody thinks. Everybody is capable of looking at an object and thinking how they relate to it. So it's a moot point, the text. I do it as a courtesy. And also, as an artist, if you're going to bother to show what you do, you try to show it to everybody without a hierarchy. And there is no reason why somebody on Mallorca should have to be able to read English, or in fact read Spanish, from what I understand. So I tried to cover it, but it's not really challenging. It's more difficult for the translator than it is for me. I think where you grow up and how you develop really only comes out at breakfast, because I don't think it affects what your relationship to the world is. We're all standing on a corner trying to cross the street, and we're all different ages and we're different cultures. If you get from one corner to the other and the bus doesn't knock you down, you're in the same time, in the same place. My background was lucky. I grew up in unpleasant circumstances, but there was public education. And with the education, you found things that you didn't understand, and somehow or other, I ended up an artist. But I don't think it was magic, and I don't think it was where I came from. And I don't think it was me. It was just, it was what interested me. I'm still interested. I still think that the most important and the last thing that we can do as a culture, as a world culture, is to make these things called art. Because they're the last things that have no hierarchy and no rules. The market has nothing to do with the value of a work of art. If you think of the things you saw when you were a child, it had nothing to do with whether it was valuable or not valuable, or whether it was accepted or not. You saw it, you bring it into your life, and you build on it. I didn't find my background romantic. Unpleasant is a good word. My first interest was the cartography of the 1300s, Abraham and those things, where it was existential. It was trying to understand their place in the world, not trying to understand how to get there, but understanding where they were at the moment. And that was the beginning of this exhibition. That's the becalmed in the embrace of a whirlwind. It seems to enter into the world that people can help to find their own place in the world from the work. And I think that's true of any artist, from Giotto to Mondrian to myself, is that you use the play to make a metaphor, for it has no metaphor. You don't have to believe me in order to use it. You have to believe itself, and it has its own existence. If you can build a sculpture with words, you can make a drawing as well.